Hi folks, welcome to spring. Look at that, 45, got the snow melting, life is good. Guys, I have a quick question for you, and let me tell you what's driving it. I was talking to a buddy of mine who drives a company vehicle that's part of his job. Anyway, I was talking to him this morning, and he told me his boss had him and everybody else from his department into the office one at a time, and he went through the guy's GPS reports. And the GPS not only records where you are and how long you're there and what speed you're traveling and all that, but it also records whether the car is idling, and it'll record from when it starts idling to when it finishes idling. I mean, it was amazing the amount of stuff it recorded. The other thing he was telling me about, let me see if I'll let you guys look at my ugly mug as I'm talking. The other thing the report told about was what time the car went through various tolls. So now you have this timeline literally telling you when the car left the driveway, where it went. So let's say he left his driveway and went to Dunkin' Donuts, it would say that. Let's say he went from there to his girlfriend's house, it would acknowledge that. Let's say the girlfriend's house was on the other side of a toll, whether it's a parkway or a bridge or wherever you took the car, it would record that. And if it was a toll that you shouldn't be accruing to the car, obviously it would say, wait a minute, you just brought the car to this territory, which may or may not be in the territory the car belongs in. And we went through that whole discussion. Then near me there was a railroad crash, and if you guys go look, just before Winter Storm Stella about a week ago, freight train, CSX freight train, hit a, I'm going to use the word platform. It's one of those things that the bottom is powered and it's kind of got a scissor jack thing, and it raises and lowers a platform. It was crossing the railroad tracks, and according to a buddy who's a state trooper, what happened is those things move dogs, forget dogs slow, they move turtles slow, and as it was crossing the tracks, a train was coming, and as the train was coming, the cross things came down, and when the cross thing came down and hit the top of it, because it registered that it was tilting, even though those cross things aren't all that strong, it measured that it was tilting, which disables it, and you actually have to get off it and push a reset. Well, in the amount of time from when the gates came down and the train's blowing its whistle, the guy obviously didn't have enough time to reset it and try to ram through the gate, so he hopped off and ran for his life, and it's like he escaped with his life by only a few seconds. But what was interesting about that particular incident, all of this was recorded from several different cameras. There happened to be somebody at the crosswalk or the train stop with a dash camera who caught it. There was a couple of cameras on the buildings near there that got some of the information. And then there was a camera in front of the train, plus a whole GPS on the train saying what speed it was going, you know, all of that trivia, whether it was accelerating, decelerating, when it blew the horn, when exactly the car was hit, from when the horn was blown to, did the gates function properly? All of that was all recorded. From there, I was just thinking about some of the ads I occasionally get when I'm on my computer. I'm running Windows 10, and a lot of times if I go just look at something on eBay, when I boot up the computer, when you log into the computer, you're basically logging into your Microsoft account, which allows you to open up it used to be Hotmail, now it's called something else. But so you could go right in and look at that. But it's also tied up with eBay, because a lot of times it'll send me a little note about what eBay has offered me, and what I'm thinking about it and so forth. Do I want to go and take a look, or hey, look, there's another one. You missed this one, but there's another one for sale. So it's spending quite a bit of time watching me, and hence the title of this video. And I'm going to ask you all right now, who's watching you? I mean, if you're watching this video, you'll watch me, but it's not real time, because obviously I'm shooting it now and I'm going to upload it. You guys can probably hear the birds in the background. I don't think they have any of them bugged. As far as I know, I'm no interest to the government, and I'm not seeing a drone fly by. I don't know how good the satellite cameras are. I watch the same TV shows you guys watch, where, supposedly the satellite cameras could show anything from what looks like a warm spot to, they could tell, they could read the writing on the side of a Zippo lighter. I mean, I don't know how accurate satellite cameras are. I think it would depend on how overcast and where exactly they are, and how new they are, and their orbit, and how much time and attention and effort, how much computer power they wanted to put into enhancing the images. I don't think they could read the side of a Zippo lighter. But they probably, if they were watching me for whatever reason, they could probably tell by the way I move, and especially today is a beautiful sunny day, and I always wear this blue outfit, coveralls. It's supposedly fireproof, that's why I wear them. They might have an idea that it's me out here if they were watching me for some reason. But it's interesting, or concerning, or I'm not quite sure what to think of it, what people are watching. Just a few things I have personally run across. A friend of mine got into a battle with his wife, and it was kind of going back and forth, and it was about money. And she decided not to pay his car insurance. She deliberately did not pay his car insurance. They had their cars on separate insurance policies. He was on his way into work, and when he crossed the bridge, there was one of the New York State troopers with one of them cars with all those porcupine pods sticking off of them. And it was able to look at his license plate, and it pinged it, and it automatically came back that the car was uninsured. And he crossed the bridge, and he went to pull away from the tolls, and the trooper pulled him over and notified him his car was not insured, and arrested him for driving an uninsured motor vehicle, impounded the car, and he had to get bailed out and get that all straightened out and get his car out of impound. It cost him quite a bit of money. So his wife's little battle with him over money got even worse when she didn't pay his insurance. I was on my way up to Vermont to see the Great North Woods Hillbilly, a new buddy. And I don't have a toll pod in my car. So as I was going through Massachusetts, many of you know you can't just pay cash as you're going on the Mass Pike. You either have one of their pods and it instantly accesses your account, or in my case, I don't have any pod. I don't have an Easy Pass for New York or anything else. But they sent me a bill right to my house and told me if I didn't pay it within a certain amount of time to start adding the following additional fees to the expense. And I bet if I don't pay it, the next time I go up to see the great, the hillbilly, my hillbilly friend, that I'm sure as I'm going through the passes, they'll read my plate and send a Massachusetts cop after me to, at the minimum, collect some money, at the maximum, to take me in my car and detain us, or me in my truck and detain us for a little while. So, I guess my question to you, and I'm going to ask it two different ways. First of all is who's watching you? And let me ask three questions. The second question I'm going to ask is why. Is it a benign reason, like, you know, you drove on this road and we want to we want you to pay toll, and we don't want toll booths anymore, so we're going to send you a bill? Or is somebody tracking you to try to sell you some crap off of eBay that you decided not to buy, but they're reminding you to buy that, kind of an electronic surveillance? And I guess the biggest question is, what are they seeing when they look at you, or when they look at me? Are they just seeing a clown who, you know, in my case, an old guy with too much crap that's going to leave his kids one hell of a mess to clean up one day? I mean, hopefully I do better than that, but you never know, right? Enjoy today. God knows what tomorrow will hold. Hopefully I'll get enough days to get this place sorted out and turn it into a proper Honda museum like I want to do. But once again, one never knows how much time they're going to get. So they're looking at me, they're not really seeing anything interesting, right? You know, there's no big affairs, you know, I'm not sleeping with the Russians and giving them any secrets, because I don't know any secrets worth giving them. And if I did, I have no interest in giving it to them. So there's really not much to see. But if they're watching you, what are they seeing? Or what I find even more scary is, if you're kids, what is being seen and recorded about them? Whether skinny dipping in the neighbor's pool, underage drinking, spraying graffiti on something, taking a car for a joyride, getting it back in time, but, you know, maybe leaving some electronic fingerprints behind, going through a toll, speeding in zone, you know, the cameras that get pictures of that. I'm just curious to where all this eventually will go. I'm not saying, you know, don't go paranoid and whip your window open and start shooting at every bird or, you know, anything else, because that'll definitely get somebody looking at you. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, one should put a little thought into the idea that any moment of any day, somebody could be watching you. And then why? What are they getting from it? What's the purpose? I don't suffer from paranoia, and I kind of live a boring life, so once again, I don't have too much to worry about. My sons are old enough and smart enough and careful enough where I don't think they have all that much to worry about. But if you have younger kids, especially kids that perhaps could be manipulated, or if you're a kid, a young kid, be careful what you put out there. Whether it's, you know, spray painting, you know, 0 cent, we're here on the side of some building, or once again that car joyride, Or that time you and your boyfriend went skinny dipping. You know, when you get out of the pool, there might be some nice full length of you sitting around somewhere that that could show up at an opportune time. Anyway, folks, just a little something to think about. I was thinking about it after talking to my buddy, and when he was telling me how his boss sat him down and told him where his car had been and not been, and what time, from the time stamps, it looked like he started work and what time he was finishing work, and how long it appeared that he was spending at certain locations. His boss didn't go through the trouble of mentioning that they were Dunkin' Donuts or a sub shop there. He just mentioned that this is how long your vehicle spent at these various locations. So it was very interesting. And once again, I'm going to end with the same question I more or less started with. Who's watching you? And then, why? All right, folks, take care. Be safe, be happy, and make sure you get out there and enjoy all your days. Bye now, folks.